Hello everybody, welcome back to some more Crystalline. Last time we ended here, and I'm going to pick Open a Rift Home, because if this ends the game, like it gets you like an alternate ending, I don't want to have to jump back and do it, and then once I'm done with that ending, I'll jump back and go to the stay and fight. I look at my friends and the turmoil in my mind stirs. This isn't my home. I don't want to abandon my team here, but I can't just leave my friends and family back home either. What if they're looking for me? I can't let them think that I'm dead. And now that I have the chance to go back, how could I pass this up? And yet, I look down at my hands, remember the fatigue I felt from practicing with Amelia. Her warning runs through my mind, turning my blood to ice in my veins. I might not even make it home even if I tried. Is it really worth the risk for something that's not even guaranteed and could potentially end fatally? Of course it's worth it, because this is just me going through, pushing to the end. It is where my loved ones are waiting for me. It's where I left my life behind. Void isn't my fight, and I'm an anomaly in this world, and that's a strong indicator that I'm not meant to be here. I swallow hard, gathering the courage to face my friends. My words burn my tongue as I speak them. I'm sorry guys, but I have to go back. Slowly the team turns to face me, then Kara laughs.
Maybe my hearing is finally going, but I could have sworn you said you wanted to go back.
Gulping hard, I nod. They're not making this easy. You heard correctly. Her laughter ceases and she stares intently at me. The longer she holds my gaze, the closer her brows knit together. She glances at Leanna, who searches me with wide eyes. I avoid her gaze and she finally speaks.
I see.
Heartbreak flickers across her face. It stabs at my heart like a
That's
knife.
it? That's all you're going to say?
Tears fill Leanna's eyes, but she furiously tries to blink them back.
There's nothing left to say. He's made his choice. I think I should go find a good place to make camp.
She turns on her heels and tears spill over. The knife in my heart turns fresh pangs of pain. Leanna, wait! She doesn't. Kara looks at Leanna and back at me as if waiting for me to do something. When I don't, she frowns and runs after Leanna. My stomach twists with guilt. Did I make the right decision? No, but this is the decision we made. She'll understand. She has to. My family and friends don't know what happened to me, and I can't let them continue worrying about me. I waited for a few minutes, but it's clear neither of them are coming back. Zach crosses his arms and says nothing. Amelia's face is just as stony as... a mask of Zach's. You can hate me too if you want, I'll understand. Zach just shakes his head.
You have to do what you have to do.
The most reasonable guy in the whole fucking game. That was surprisingly understanding. I look up at Zach, he meets my gaze before looking away. Amelia remains silent. Are you okay, Amy?
I am perfectly well.
You're not angry?
What would be the use of being angry? Would it dissuade your decision if I were?
I shake my head.
Then what I feel is irrelevant.
Although her words are calm, her tones a hint of sadness. Yeah, that sounds... I know my friends will miss me. I'll miss them too. The bongo's eyes shimmer with tears. He hops up to me and nuzzles my leg. I'm sorry, buddy, but I have to go home. Bongo shakes his head. His voice is tinged with distraught as he hops into my scarf. He buries himself beneath the fabric. My heart clenches. I'm sorry, buddy. You can't come. I gently scoop him out of my scarf and hand him to Amelia. He deflates in her arms. Amelia squeezes a bongo to her chest. I take one last look at my friends, these people with somber eyes. Those aren't the faces I want to remember. I try to remember their smiles, but the vision doesn't come to me.
Do you need me to guide your cast?
I shake my head. I can't ask her to do that. She nods and steps back. I close my eyes. I remember the library with all those rows of books. I remember the study tables, the wide windows. Magic flares down my arm, flows through my veins, impulsing a wave of energy and engulfs me. I cry out as there is a pain, something so fierce that it feels deep in my bones. There's a blinding flash of light. I wince and flinch back, but the light is all encompassing. It blocks out all their senses until it begins to fade. I hear the soft rustle of pages turning. I groan and blink my eyes open, exhausted, still in one piece. I slowly raise my head, and shelves upon shelves of books surround me. I look down at the desk and with the scratched graffiti. I made it. I actually made it back. A student sees me and freezes. Her gaze darts to my back, and she screams and drops her books and runs away. My brows furrow. What the? Another student pauses, taking me in. I slowly smile spreads across his face.
Hey, dude, sweet cosplay. What anime is it from?
Cosplay. I look down at myself. I'm in the same leather clothes from Terra.
Excuse me.
A stern voice causes me to turn around. A woman with tight bun and rimmed glasses glares at me.
I don't know what this is,
She waves her hands indicating
but I
my
will
clothes.
not tolerate any weapons at this school.
Without hesitation, she reaches around me and tries to grab at the side
I'm
of my
going
bag.
to need to confiscate this.
What? Hey! I struggle out of her grasp. It's not real, just a
It's
costume.
for our theater class.
My guy! I don't know who you are! I recognize that voice glancing over. I see my friend Alex approaching. He flashes librarian a winning smile. She crosses her arms
Well,
and huffs.
next time you should change first.
I will. And she turns around and walks away, her heels clicking on the floor. Seeing one of my friends fills me with warmth. Alex looks me up and
Dude,
down.
is that a real sword? What are you wearing? And where have you been? I've been calling you for ages.
You wouldn't fucking believe me. The last few months were plays in my head. But it seems like only a few hours have been passed here on Earth. Ah. I grin. You wouldn't believe me even if I told you. Ending A achieved. Now...
A significant amount of time has passed since you last attempted to open a temporal
It's
rift.
so far back.
Since you've
Alright, since it won't let me save on decisions... What's it? Stay and fight. I can't go home. There's too much to be done here, and I care too much about these people. I turn away from them in their time of need. I glance at Leanna. There's no way I can let her down. I look into going home after we defeat Void. You know, Alex was a real cool dude. I'm kind of upset he's not in the story. He just like covered for me super hard. I grin. Let's go kick some Void butt. The others stop their planning and turn to me. Leanna
That's
matches my
right.
grin.
Let's get going.
Indeed, it would be beneficial for us to depart this place.
Considering Void kinda knows where the water temple is and could be heading this way, we all agree we travel through the mountains until we find a soft, grassy place to make camp. It is dusk by the time we've gathered all the ingredients for dinner. Lena helps me prepare our meal as the others gather around the map. She stokes the fire with wind magic. The flames burst higher, crackling the heat, heating up our stew. The firelight casts an orange glow across her beautiful face. I smile and lean in to kiss her cheek. She squeaks and my lips come into contact with something cool and hard. I blink and my lips have kissed her gauntlet instead. What's wrong? My words are muffled by the lips against her palm. Lena's voice lowers to a hush.
What if they see us?
Who cares at this point? They fucking know. I glance at the group. They seem to be absorbed in the map even if I notice. Does that matter now? She blushes and I gently take her hand in mine. Lena freezes and glances at my hands covering hers. Another faint blush hints at her heats her cheeks. She shakes her head.
Guess it doesn't.
Yeah, see, they fucking know. What does it care? An odd joy unfurls in my chest. A grin spreads across my face. I glance at the group and back to her. If we acknowledge we're dating to the group, maybe Leanna would be more comfortable acting like real couple in front of everyone. Maybe we should just no, why would you tell them? They already fucking know. Yeah, they already meant... Leanna turns a darker shade of red. She bites her lips, hesitating. I squeeze her hand. Her blue eyes flick up and meet mine.
Yeah. Okay.
What's the point of telling them? I squeeze back. A smile graces her lips.
How do you think we should do it?
Well, there's no reason to. What we should tell them? Show, don't tell it to make out. Just let it. Don't overthink it. We should just rejoin them and say whatever comes to us. Leanna pouts.
Maybe this isn't a big deal to you, but I'm a bit nervous.
It's not that it's not a big... I bring her hand to my lips and kiss it. Don't worry, everything will be fine, I promise. She smiles and relaxes. Let's go. This is gonna be so dumb. What's the point? I tug her hand, gently lead her to the group, and never flutter in my stomach as we approach.
According to the notes, if we head in this direction...
Hey guys. She's fucking dumbass. Why are we doing this? Everyone looks up. The Pongo blinks from the top of his head. We have an announcement. I'm so disappointed. Kara raises her eyebrow. Yeah. They stare waiting for me to continue. I glance at Leanna. Her blue eyes shimmer with confidence. She nods, encouraging me to go on. I suck in a deep breath. Leanna and I are dating. Everyone, including the Pongo blinks.
Right.
Yeah. She turns to face him up again. The rest of the team follows suit.
Okay, then if we want to go through here, the
Yeah.
last location will be at
That's an
Neja.
accurate response, and I applaud you. Hey.
We'll have to backtrack to Costa Coral too.
Did you hear what I hear? Fire looks up. Zach crosses his
Yeah.
legs.
So?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Zach. You and I are on the same page. Don't you care? Fox grid slides across Kara's
It's
face.
not exactly new news.
Thank you. Somebody slap you in the face. Fucking idiots. Lay in a box.
What?
Of course it's not. Shock floods me. How did you find out? How did they not find out, you fucking tards? You think about that, Leanna masked my advances, all the secret glances we took to make sure no one was looking. Kara's eyes sparkled with mirth.
It was very, very obvious.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Good God. Heat smudges up to my face. I turned to look at Leanna and noticed her face is just as red as mine.
But how? We
No.
were so careful.
You weren't. Kara giggles and pleases Cat in the sun.
You're right. Maybe you two should show your affection so we know you're telling the truth.
Kara!
Amy cocks her head deep in thought. Fongo lets out a little squeak in her lips. He slips onto her shoulder.
This is an interesting development.
It is. She nods.
Based on your individual masteries of energy manipulation, your genetic merge should yield an extremely magical inclined offspring.
Jesus Christ! Kara gasps.
Oh, you're right. They will have such beautiful babies together.
Magically powerful babies. This is when she Amelia turns to look at
I
her.
noticed you used the plural.
Of course.
Her eyes shimmer with stars as she imagines our future children.
Such sweet, beautiful, magical children. I can just see them.
Gives her a strange look and tries to hide in the background.
Okay, this conversation is ending right now.
Babies. Wait, let's start. Well, no, you guys. I'm not saying the last one. That's dumb as fuck. Well, now you guys know. I shrug. Now you guys know. Kara pouts.
It's no fun if you don't take the bait.
Why would I take the bait? That's terrible bait. Another shrug. Well, our confession wasn't as dramatic as I thought it was going to be. I wonder when they first started to figure out. Probably like, oh, I don't know, with the wager, the time before. Like, there's so many instances, and there are several instances close. And like Zach even mentioned, like at one point, why he doesn't have to deal with a violent girlfriend, which I immediately assumed he was mentioning Leanna as Dude Manbro's girlfriend. Fucking turn. I'm going to go check on the stew. Leanna and I return to the stew once everyone's done cooking. We ladle the bowls as everyone joins us for dinner. Dinner is strange. Without getting Leanna kind of misses stories. After dinner, Leanna and I turn in for bed. Leanna seems to fall asleep quickly, but I can still hear the others snickering and planning out our next course of action. Why snickering? I groan and pull my pillow over me. It takes a while, but I eventually fall asleep. After a well-rested wake up bright and early for another full day of travel. My legs ache by the time we make it to the mountains, and they're aching even more as we travel towards Costa Coral. It's hard to walk through the sand with our boats and supplies, but we make good time and eventually return to the beach city. And the sun lowers the oceans in the distance, smearing the sky pinks and purples. Golden light and sparkles across the waves. I wish we had time for another visit to the beach. Nobody pays us any attention. As we return to the inn, we plop down at one of the tables, exhausted. My stomach grumbles. I'm starving.
I'm pretty hungry myself. I'll go get us some food.
Please let me assist you.
As I stand at their feet, a voice stops them.
Excuse me, miss.
We pause and turn around. A young man stands from one of the nearby tables and rushes over to us. As he gets closer, I can see he's wearing a blue uniform and a mail bag strapped across his chest. He squints at Leanna and lets out a sigh of relief.
Oh, thank goodness. I found you.
Leanna brows knit with concern.
Can I help you?
He nods, face flushed from excitement.
I've been trying to catch up to you for days.
Days. Leanna blinks.
Days?
Days. He nods.
I missed you in Illumia. Someone said they saw your group head towards Costa Coral, so I made my way here. But after searching all day, all over town, I couldn't find you.
He groans, his hands fly up into his hair.
The next day, someone pointed in the direction they thought they saw you guys heading. So I kept traveling and asking for directions. I followed them as best I could, but I got lost.
He sucks in a deep breath. His voice becomes higher, faster, and more distressed with every word.
There was absolutely nothing there but mountains, so I came back to Costa Coral. I decided that tomorrow morning, I'd just go back to Illumia and see if you showed up. But then I saw you guys, and...
He exhales loudly and rushes inside the
Here.
bed. He sends a scroll to Leanna, the sealed shut with royal blue wax. There is a sigil of sunrise on it. Leanna freezes. His voice is hopeful and strained.
You are Leanna Dawn, correct?
Her face goes pale.
Yes?
I frown. What is it about the scroll that got her looking so cautious? The courier lets out a breath of relief.
Great. I'll be on my way then.
Great! He just seems so defeated. He gives us a low bow and leaves. Leanna's hands shake as she breaks the seal and unravels the scroll. After she finishes reading, she looks solemn. What is it?
It's a letter from my parents.
Your parents? I said that sarcastically, and he repeats it. Leanna nods as she scans the page again. She looks up at us with worried
It
eyes.
sounds urgent. I have to go back home.
Sounds like we're going back home.
What's going on?
Leanna shakes her head.
I don't know. I've never gotten a letter to go back home before. So it must be serious.
Kara nods firmly.
We'll go with you.
Yeah, of course. Leanna hesitates.
What about Void?
Void can wait. Void isn't going anywhere. They can wait. Nothing is more important than your well-being, and it sounds like your family really needs you right now.
That's right.
Zach nods.
We go where you go.
Yeah, we're a fucking team at this point. Where exactly would we be going?
Hearthdawn.
Amelia looks thoughtful.
That is where the celestial mountain ranges are located.
Her eyes light up.
Perhaps we could acquire the extract of spirit flower while we are there.
Why would we need that?
Oh, that's pretty rare. It'd be a good find.
As the group chats excitedly among themselves, Leanna remains quiet. I nudge her. You okay? She nods and smiles at me, but her smile doesn't reach her eyes. My stomach twists with worry. I've never seen Leanna act like this. Whatever is happening, I'm sure everything will be okay. The Bongo nods in agreement.
Poi.
He wobbles over to her and nuzzles against her boot. Her face cracks with a small smile. She bends down and picks him up, hugging the Pongo tight to her
You're
chest.
right. Thank you. Poi.
The Pongo's voice is soft and concerned. It looks more like Leanna is hugging him for comfort instead of her usual fits of excitement over his cuteness.
In any case, it's getting late.
Kara stifles a yawn.
Agreed. Oh, I'm getting a bit sleepy.
We slowly get up from our table. Kara secures a group of rooms for us. As we pass stuffs the keys, the team makes their way to the rooms except for Leanna, who remains seated. I sit back down next to Leanna. Hey, are you sure you're okay? She sighs deeply.
I'm just worried about going home.
What did the letter say? Leanna doesn't respond. My stomach clenches. Is it really that bad? She doesn't look at me, but hands me the scroll. I blink surprised. Are you sure you're okay with me reading it? She nods. I pause, unsure of what I'm about to find. Frowning, I unravel the scroll, revealing a large, swoopy, elegant handwriting. The same sunrise sigil is stamped next to the signature at the bottom. Dear Leanna, it is urgent matter that you return home as soon as you are able. Leon has also been summoned. Best regards, Father. Who's Leon?
Oh,
Leanna blinks.
my older brother.
Ah, it's that guy who's a mage knight, right? Oh, right, you're the other mage knight in the Don family. She shifts uncomfortably at my mention of her other, but nods. The letter was pretty vague. I'd probably be imagining the worst too, but put a comforting arm around her. It might not be as bad as you think. Leanna shakes her head.
It's not that. I'm surprised and curious by the letter, but I think it'd sound a lot worse if something bad happened.
Then what are you worried about? Leanna's silent for a moment.
My family, they don't
sucks in a deep breath.
They don't exactly know that I'm a mage knight.
What? How come your family doesn't know about something that's so important to her? What do your parents do you think you do then? Leanna
They
blushes.
think I'm just a mage working as a researcher.
And that's what we tell them. Why haven't you told them you accomplished so much? I'm sure they'd be proud of you.
They wouldn't. My parents are very traditional. Being a mage knight isn't exactly normal for a girl.
It must be really frustrating to have parents who aren't accepting of who you are.
Don't get me wrong, I love my parents. In other ways, they've been very supportive and accepting of me.
But like the one thing, yeah, sure, but this is your passion. It's a big part of who you are. It's unfortunate that you're afraid to tell because you're afraid they won't accept you. She toys with the hem of her skirt.
I just don't want them to be disappointed in me.
No wonder she's worried about facing them. Either way, I'll be there here to support you. She flashes me a genuine smile and squeezes my hand.
Speaking of which, do you think you can also keep our relationship a secret?
A secret? Leanna nods. I'll try, but no one can escape the burning fire of our love. I'll do my best to keep it a secret. Leanna lets out a deep breath.
Thank you.
A smirk flutters across my face. But of course, my arm snakes around her shoulders, pulling her in close. Our love for each other kindles with flames of 1,000 suns. I cannot promise they won't notice our burning passion. Lena's eyebrow twitches.
Burning passion?
Yep, if they stand too close to us, maybe they become scorched. It's so fucking cheesy. She snorts, trying to hold back a laugh.
Scorched?
That's right. She tries to hold a serious face with a facade crack. She turns away, laughing into her hand. Or perhaps just mildly sunburned.
You're so crazy.
She shakes her head, amused. It makes sense. I don't want to pressure Leanne into doing something she isn't ready to do. It's best to respect her and her situation. Her face softens.
Thank you.
She snuggles into my side.
I really appreciate it.
I wrap my arm around. Oh, it's nothing. I haven't had my arm wrapped around her the whole time. How many times am I going to do that? It's nothing. I can keep a secret. She smiles, eyelids drooping. She yawns and snuggles deeper into my chest. Finally getting sleepy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A small chuckle puffs out of me. It's getting late. Even so, I don't want to move.
Yeah.
She groans.
Just a few more minutes.
She clings tighter to me.
Please.
I pull her close to me and feel her smile. How do you feel someone smile? Feel her smile beside me. She asks a few questions about what my family is like, and I tell her some stories. She tells me about her brother and how close they are. She didn't mention anything about her parents. It isn't until the fire in the lobby crackles loudly, water bursting within the wood, I realized I had fallen asleep. I looked down and noticed Leanna had drifted off too, still curled into my side. Leanna? She stirs. Come on, it's time to go to bed. My eyelids feel like they're being weighed down by maple syrup, but I force myself to stay awake. That analogy's weird. She sighs deeply, then reluctantly lifts her head. Weighed down by maple syrup. Okay. Hand in hand, we walk up the stairs before separating into our respective rooms. As soon as my head hits the pillow, I fall into a deep sleep, a smile on my face. I naturally wake up early the next day. I guess I'm finally starting to get used to these early days and early nights. Zach is already awake. He nods at a morning greeting. After getting ready, we head downstairs and the girls are waiting for us. We grab a quick breakfast and head out into the city. I take one last look at the ocean. Goodbye, gentle ocean breeze. Leanna leads the way towards her hometown. I can't help but wonder what her family's like. Are they going to be anything like Leanna? Will they like me? Around midday, we take a break from traveling. At least everyone else gets to have a break. Leanna pulls me aside for our training session. No rest for the wicked. She leads me out into the field where I begin our normal regimen. Our blades clash against each other. The wind augments our speed and abilities. Fighting with her never feels like a blur. A dance. It's easier to keep up with her, but Leanna still proves to be a challenging opponent.
Wow, you guys are fast.
I turn to see Kara and the others sitting on the sidelines watching.
Hey!
I roll back around and Leanna swings. I yell, barely catching the blow in time. Leanna grins.
Eyes on the battle.
Right. Still the sight of Amelia sitting with the others sparks an idea in my head. Amy and I have been practicing fire magic. Leanna doesn't know that. I could use that to my advantage. Leanna begins to swing her blade again. Like usual, I draw upon the magic within me, feel it gathering in my palm. As she moves to strike, I let loose the fireball, sending it flying straight towards her. Her reflexes kick in, and she cuts the ball in half, blowing the fire out. The flame is harmlessly lick in the air as it snuffs out of existence. She freezes, shocked.
Fire magic? How is that possible?
Zark and Kara and the Pongo are equally surprised.
Am I still sleeping, or did he just cast something that wasn't wind magic?
I could probably do
That's
earth
crazy.
and water, too.
When did you learn to do that?
Fucking wind was that? My grin broadens. Oh, it's all thanks to Amy. Amelia nods.
That is correct. We have been meeting late in the night to practice on each other.
Jesus Christ, why'd you say that? Lena's eyes widen and whirls to face Amy completely red.
Wait, what?
Amy nods.
He has told me he has left each night feeling quite satisfied.
God damn it, Amy.
What?
Whoa, wait a minute. Amelia remains stoic as ever, but she's confused by Lena's
I
reaction.
do not understand your surprise.
What?
I fucked it up.
I do not understand your surprise. In truth, we have shared many sessions together.
What?
The wind grows around her. Wind growls around her form, rounding on me. She means training sessions. My voice creaks and just struck puberty all over again. I show her my hand, my fingers still sizzling with smoke and smoking with flames. We've been training for magic, and then it comes down, the wind just fades around her.
Oh, right.
Zach raises an eyebrow.
You have an odd way of wording things, Amy.
Thank you, Jesus Christ. Amelia doesn't seem to hear Zach's comment. Instead, she taps her chin in thought.
I am quite pleased to see you cast another element so naturally. It seems our training together has been of use after all.
Why don't I do it? Yeah, it's getting easier every time I
The
cast.
fact that you have mastered another element so quickly is very impressive. Truly, your growth has been established at an accelerated rate.
Soon I'll be outcasting even you! Doesn't even
That
blink.
is correct. The reservoir of energy stored within you could not be matched by any crystal sphere.
If you thought it was cool though, just wait until you see me cast all of the elements! Once Amy and I figure out a connection between the emotions and casting, I've been secretly practicing summoning other elements by channeling what I felt when the elementals transfer her power. I've been able to cast both water and earth magic too. Lena blinks in surprise.
What? Really?
I see. I suppose it would be natural for you to discover the casting methods for the remaining elements too.
Zach smirks.
Sounds like a demonstration's in order.
Ah, fuck. Right now? No.
Unless you can't actually summon all the elements.
I scoff and I take a step back, readying myself. It's almost instinctively I first channel wind magic, but I've been doing so for so long it feels second nature. Next I materialize a ball of fire next to the ball of wind. The fire eagerly laps the wind. Focusing my concentration, I remember the tranquility of Earth, the temple created by the shield of Earth. Cooling liquids and create a shield of Earth. Cool liquid forms my fingertips as I summon water. With all the elements in hand, I mold them into their own balls of energy and let them loose into the sky. I wonder what happens if I combine them. I summon a fireball, add a wind magic to it. The fire eagerly eats the oxygen and swells twice the size in an instant. Whoa! I drop the concentration and try not to burn myself. Maybe I should try something else. I bring up an earthen shield and ice over it with water magic. Summoning the wind magic, I funnel the energy into a small whirlwind and slowly add fire to it. Then I launch into the frozen shield. The ice fizzles and beneath the fire's heat, and the shield blasts to bits. My friends duck to avoid the shrapnel. It's alright. My breathing starts to become labored and sweat beads on my temple. I won't remember having to try to combine all the elements all at once. I try to mush all the elements into a ball of energy, but my knees won't give out. Ugh. The magic wings down as I slide to the grass. My chest struggles for breath, and I gulp the air out and short gasps. My muscles burn as if I just finished a weight training session instead of a magic training session. Lena rushes over to me, her brows furrowed in concern.
Are you okay?
She frantically checks me, making sure that I haven't suffered any external energies when I fell. I give her a calming smile, but doesn't seem convinced. Yeah, Kara looks nervous.
Maybe you don't try that again for a while.
Amelia tilts her head.
A curious reaction, but one which is unsurprising.
I remember the warning she gave me about using the high amount of energy once. I used too much energy again, didn't I? She nods. If this keeps up, I'm never going to be able to open a rift to go back home. How do we move past
Casting
this?
magic is just like building any other muscle or skill.
That's what I
The
said.
more you practice, the stronger your ability to cast multiple elements will become.
I guess I'm going to need a lot more training, huh?
Indeed.
Our eyes lock. A light sparkles behind Amy's eyes, and I feel a smile slowly rise on my lips. I feel like there's a deep understanding between us that wasn't there before. Lena's face is still creased with worry.
Right. Just stay here for a while, okay? You need your rest. We can take care of cleaning up the camp.
Zach and Kara nod.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll take care of it.
Boy, boy.
The Pongo bounces into my arms and he snuggles up to me, trying to comfort me.
Boy.
I smile and pat him on the head. Isn't he just a head? I'm starting to feel better already. And this leaves me the rest, and I hear a small sound. What was that? Something shifts in the corner of my eye. I blink to the left of my head. A pink Pongo hops out from the edge of the forest. She pauses, looking around. Oh, another Pongo. I wonder if she's lost. The Pongo perks up in my lap. The pink Pongo blinks. She tilts her head. My Pongo's cheeks dust pink against his blue. And that's where we're gonna fucking end it.